Importing learners, faculty, or admin to the Rolodex can be a more efficient way to add a larger group of 145 users, rather than doing it one by one. This process can also be used to update existing people in 145 with new details. Your institution should have a 145 super administrator that has the ability to assign the Can Use People Importer permission to other admins that help manage 145. This permission is assigned on a per group basis by going into the admin's eDossier account, admin status, give permissions. For more information on who has this access at your institution, or for further assistance with these requests, please submit a support ticket. The process and steps to import learners, faculty, or administrators is similar. Since importing learners happens more frequently and has a couple of additional details, we'll use the learner import process for this training video. You will need to complete the import template. A link to this template is provided below this video. The same template is used for learners, faculty, or admin imports, and the template is also available from the various import pages in 145. While they all use the same template, you'll need one Excel document for each type of user you are importing. There's no way to import learners and faculty at the same time. You'll need one file for each, and then you'll do one import for each. I have created a sample import file with some new learners and some learners that already exist in my 145 site. During the import process, the system will do its best to match up existing people with the information on the import file and will know which people are brand new and which don't yet exist in 145. We'll see this in action once we go through the import process. Let's get started. Expand the Rolodex you'd like to import users to. We'll import learners. In the menu at the bottom, next to Add, click on Import. A new page will launch. This is where you will find a link to download the template. It's best to right-click and open in a new tab or window. Most of the columns in the template are optional. We recommend including the first name, last name, and email at a minimum, and it can also be helpful to include the grad year for students or the post-grad year for residents. If you have single sign-on or SSO enabled at your institution, you'll also need to add a column for the SSO ID. The remaining columns can be left blank or even removed if you prefer. Also, please remove the lines with instructions so the file has just the row of headings and then the rows of learner information that will be imported. Save your file. Back in 145, the next step is to choose your file. Then choose the date you wish to have your learners added to the Rolodex. When you choose a date, the academic year dropdown will display current and future academic years. Be sure to select the correct one before continuing. The last step is to identify whether you want your learners added as internal or external to your program. To understand the difference between internal and external learners, please refer to the support resource available under this video. Click Continue to Match Columns step. This step asks you to indicate which column on your file should populate the specific fields of information in 145. As long as the fields have similar names, the system is pretty good at figuring out the correct match. If a column exists but has no information in it, then it will show up in pink. You can choose Skip Column Import for these columns. If the names of your columns were too dissimilar, you may have to choose the column from the dropdown. Continue down to the bottom of the page, ensuring the fields are matched correctly, clicking the button to skip all the fields that aren't needed. Once all of your columns are either matched or skipped, click Continue to Resolve Conflicts step. If all people included in your import are completely new to 145, you may not receive any conflicts and the system may skip this page. If there are conflicts, you will see the name of the learner from your file in red with options for how to move forward. These conflicts may be because the email, start date, rank, or name is slightly different than what's currently recorded in 145. For this example, these 3 learners are showing up because they exist in 145 already, and I updated their email addresses on my import file. The other 3 learners are brand new people that haven't ever been entered into 145 before. If the learner on your file is the same person that already exists in 145 and you want the 145 account to be updated with the details on your file, click the radio button next to the name. This is the name in 145 that matches up with the name on your import file. If these are in fact 2 different people and this new person should have a different account, choose Import as a new person. If you're unsure and need to check on this person, you can either cancel the import and start again once you have confirmation, or choose Do Not Import or Update and continue with the rest of the import by clicking Continue to Verify step. You can come back to that person later, adding them manually or within your next import. The Verify step will show you all of the new people you are entering into 145, as well as the people with existing accounts who are being updated to be added to your Rolodex. If everything looks correct, click Import the information from my file to finish your import. Depending on the size of the import, this may take a few minutes, and you will see a success message once the file has successfully been imported. To view your new list of learners, refresh the whole web page and open up your Learner Rolodex. The list defaults by showing you the internal learners at the top in normal font and external learners on the bottom in italics. This list is further sorted alphabetically by name. If you prefer, you can sort your list by level, program, or have them all mixed together. Finally, you can also export your Rolodex by clicking on Excel Export. If you have any issues with an import, please contact us by submitting a support ticket. It's always best to include the file that you're importing as well.